have made Orneville a very hot spot for arts. For the arts.
Very good.
So,
boy, you thinking? I like that.
Congratulations, Mr. Huval. What about these deputies? Our sheriff's deputies have personal cameras, a little bitty camera, so that whenever they're
videoing you as you're talking to them,
so that there'll be less misunderstanding about how oftentimes
it works both ways.
The people that's being interviewed or questioned, maybe would be a better word. They say, well, they were rude to me, and sometimes maybe they were. But this kind of
makes both sides have to behave themselves.
That's right, both sides, because it's on the tape. And I congratulate our sheriff again for innovations that he continues to bring for our better protection and the better protection of his people out there on the road, because they get abused also.
We're going to go for some more photos too, my friend.
Okay, let's go.
We got a bunch.
We got a bunch.
We got this couple right here.
Yes.
You got their names?
No, I don't. But
somebody saw the pool side.
Yeah, they were on the pool side Friday afternoon. And this is a little story in itself. I was in the lobby. I was sitting down reading my paper, and I heard this gentleman say, I think that's Bobby Dupre, but all I heard was the Bobby. And a few seconds later, he walks over. He says, "You are Bobby Dupre?" I said, "I sure am." I said, "How would you know me?" He said, "I'm from Lawtell, Louisiana, and I'm speaking of Brian Gildery, and his lady friend there is Miss Amy Gremion." And I said, "Well, it's strange that you come over." I said, "I just hung up with Gene Prudhomme." I said, "You know Gene Prudhomme?" He says, "That's where we bought our groceries for years and years, was with Mr. Gene." So what a little story right here. And that's a good little example of how we break the ice and make the program. Thank you for saying hello. This was last Wednesday, a little lunch that was somebody supplied the catfish, and catfish couvillon was cooked up by Ray Bello in his outdoor kitchen. And of course, the gentleman in the wheelchair there is a longtime friend, John Saunders, now a judge on the appellate court. And of course, to his right is Chad, and in the back is Shad Fontenot. Right. Shad invited me, and he said, "Be sure to bring the camera." And here's Chad on the left, Bobby Swallow, four-time boxing champion from state boxing champion from Ville Platte, and our state representative from Evangeline and St. Landry Parish, Mr. Bernard Lebat. And here's again, that's Cass on the right, Bernard and Bobby. I was having fun.
Coach Castile.
We got Bill Fontenot,
running for parish president.
He has qualified, I understand.
Excellent.
Right away. And
Lester Bork behind him.
Yep. And then
that's
Bob Carey in the back.
Bob Carey is with CNC? Is that the company?
CNN? No, CNC.
That's it. Okay.
CNC.
Good morning, Bob Carey.
Good morning, Bob. We got to pick at you. Here's Ray Bello, the chef, Mickey Gidrick, Jimmy Prados, and Bill Fontenot again. It looks like somebody's calling him on his cell phone. They're already getting to him. David Mesh and Glenn Higdon.
Yep. Got the whole crew here. We got
and the chief, Charles Kessinger and Charlie Dore.
Well, that's a combination.
That's a combo. And this is, let's see, Rabin.
Welcome back. Yes, hello.
Rabin and Chad. Yep.
Let me get one more sponsor in. While you kick back to me a second, Mark, and then we're going to get back over here. Dixie Storage, all your storage needs. If you need personal storage, commercial storage, Dixie Storage has got it all along I-49, 190, locations in Port Barry, Opolis is in Washington. If you got an RV that needs to be plugged in, they got that. If you need to go with your boat to put it in, they got nice places for that. If you got just a little bitty pieces, maybe some little electronics that you don't want to worry too much about, nice and small, stuff that's big. They got full-blown warehouses, and they got 2 restaurants in Port Barry for rent or lease. A smaller one on one side to buy you, a very large one on the other that can handle huge amounts, both redone with nice new high-grade quality cooking equipment.
Kitchen
kitchens are there. I mean, it's ready to rock and roll.
Ready to go.
All right, back to my photos. We're going to show some sunsets.
Right.
With Bobby Dupre driving all over the world from Texas to Louisiana and back.
Yeah, they had a big fire on the highway. We were just a few minutes ahead of it. And this is Julie, and this is young Drake. Dupre and Addison and David. Addison is their son, and Drake is a friend. And he said, well, I said, Dupre, what Dupre? Well, he says, I think we kind of can, Mr. Bobby. He says, what about my grandmother, Jane and Raymond Dupre?
There you go.
And of course, Jane's the one who made the beautiful draperies over at the monastery.
Right.
And I said, well, yeah, you have an aunt called, named Kathy. He says, yeah, you know Kathy too. I said, I know them all, buddy. Plaisance, Louisiana. And
you and J.E. at what is Rangers Park?
Thursday night, we went to the Rangers a baseball game. Won that game too. You know, it's important that you win.
Yeah,
a lot more fun. And here's Francis Heitmeyer, former state. He's retired, term limited.
Right.
His brother took the seat, Dr. David Heitmeyer, and J.E., my partner. And here's pictures.
It's a beautiful. It's the first time you've been there. It's a beautiful park.
Oh, it's a beautiful facility. We had a great time.
Look, every bar room had a LSU booth, huh?
Yeah, well, now this is that nice pub that they converted to LSU. Okay, that's 4 friends that I met right here. All the way on the left is Ray Hughes.
Okay.
Next to him is Joe Smith.
Okay.
Next to Joe is Shelley Brandstetter. And all the way on the right is Miss Manette Hughes. And Ray asked me, he says, you said you're from Opelousas. I said, yes, I did. He said, there was an older gentleman that we used to come to Opelousas and have reunions. I think he was a doctor. I said, you talking about Dr. Briley, W.J.? Yeah, he says.
Okay.
He says, I know one of his brothers very, very well. And of course, Nolan is the brother, used to live in the New Orleans area, now lives over at the, what's the big retirement when you're getting into Mississippi?
Diamond Head?
Diamond Head. Nolan lives at Diamond Head. And I said, what about J.D., the carpet man? He says, he was there. And I said, what about Lewis Briley? He says, he was there. You know all of them? I said, well, Lewis and I finished high school together. Good morning to all of you out there. Nice
we
people.
got David and Julie Link.
Yep.
And then here's some of the guys outside for the
that was right after the end of the game day.
Boy,
and this guy was dressed up. He got to be on the front row. And was he hot and sweat? He said, if it wouldn't be illegal, I would tear this off right now.
Who you got here? Who's this cup?
This
that's
couple
the guy
right
from
here
Eunice?
is Donnie and his lovely wife, Michelle Richard. I said, by the way, Michelle, I said, did Donnie ever tell you he's going to be in politics someday? And she looks at me. She says, well, I suspect it. He comes from the Richard family of politicians. Good morning to you all. Thanks for coming by and saying
Mark
hello.
And Candy Carter.
Yep. And that friend, and I can't think of the name right off.
And everybody watching the games on the big tube.
Yep.
And,
and Chuck Clary on the right, and Troy Fontenot on the left.
Troy likes LSU now.
Die-hard LSU fans.
Chuck
then I had to get in it. And then
he's everywhere.
He's everywhere. And this is Randy and his wife, Randy McDaniel, and his wife, Lois. We were getting into the football game about the same time.
Cool. That's one of the Golden Girls, I guess.
Golden Girls.
They name them right. And I see they even got state troopers to make sure that they're safe.
Yep, and one of them's taking their
pictures.
The picture, they were handing him their cameras.
Their cameras.
That wasn't his. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't his. He was just being kind to the young, beautiful ladies.
But you got to have some security because you never know what them craze is around these places. That's good. And there's the two boys.
There's the two boys.
And of course, the Cowboys Classic there up on the screen. And there we go. We talked about LAC Group a little while ago. There's the CEO, Mr. Don Stelly. And over on his left, my right, is Dr. Batto.
Yes,
who's,
sir.
I guess, next door neighbors with little Joe Garcho.
That's correct.
We went to
South
school together.
Opelousas, yep. And their wives, I might add. Beautiful girls and nice-looking men.
There you go. More and boy, I tell you what, Boudreaux is in every picture.
He owes me some money for showing that picture of his so many times. And this is a gentleman that, when he turned a little, if he would have turned a little bit more to the left, he had a profile that looked just like the late Mr. Frank Deasy, my friend, Mr. Frank. And on the way back, we stopped at Toledo Bend. You know, I already showed some pictures.
Right.
Well, this is Ken Facuri on the right and his girlfriend, Jessica. And they have a beautiful place there. I mean, it's really turning out the wall. He's on a beautiful place on the lake, and he's got a lot of frontage and
got a bulldozer. He likes to play in the dirt.
And the excavator, and then
nice
he's got a
garage.
new building, and he's going to build an apartment inside of this facility here.
That way when he has
upstairs.
guests, they can stay there.
No, that's going to be his.
Okay.
That's going to be his, and he's going to have a balcony overlooking.
Oh,
and
look at his fire grill.
Beautiful
That's nice.
fire. Just got that the day before.
Well, that's all my photos. I got them all in.
Got 'em all in.
And I got about 2 things left to clear my
Now, one
desk.
other person
Go ahead.
that I saw at the night we went out to Saltgrass Steakhouse Friday night was Michael Franks. Michael served on the Insurance Rating Commission for years, got to knowing him well. Ray Bello and I visited his logging operation. We showed pictures of that about 18 months ago.
Right.
He and his son and one of their friends were there at the steakhouse, and I didn't get a picture. Sorry about that, Michael.
And it only made another picture of the 250 we had. I mean,
Yeah,
we had room.
that's right.
How about this? They got this going on this week. Today's the 8th, so the 8th and 9th. That's tonight and tomorrow night, 7 p.m. If you go by the South Park Teen Center on South Market Street, there's going to be a guest speaker. Peter Coomer is going to speak a little bit about are you ready for a breakthrough in your life with God? So if you want to go ahead by. You can give them a call at 692-0174. Children are welcome. All under age 12 can attend at no charge. And it's $20 for 3 nights, or I guess it's a reduced rate if you're a little late getting in.
From left, Leti Dortez, Richard Oye, Pat Mason Gill, we hadn't mentioned her in a couple of weeks,
that's right.
and Richard Hidalgo posed for pictures after the Opelousas Sunshine Rotary Club presented a $1,000 check for the St. Landry Parish Veteran Memorial Park.
Coming up on the Sunset Highway there.
Coming up one of these days,
And
we're going to see it develop.
Don't forget, mid-October is going to be the St. Landry Church Cemetery Tours. I'll give you more information as we get closer.
A few days ago, there was an ad in, must have been like the Independent magazine that's published, and it was showing a Lafayette lawnmower dealer, Abshire Lawnmower, Mr. Mike Abshire. I called him up, and it's a nice-looking Bobcat zero-turn mower. And the question I had was, what kind of engine does it have on it? Because that means a lot in my estimation. It's a Kawasaki, and I said, well, we've had great luck with our Kawasaki's engines that John Deere used on them particular lawnmowers that we bought a lot of over the years.
They let the good times roll,
And
right?
so,
Kawasaki, they
if
spit a
y'all
slogan.
need one, they've got some good prices. He assured me of that. And I'm speaking of Mr. Mike Abshire. And of course, they have them throughout Acadiana.
Find your prayer book, because we done.
We done?
That's the end. All we got.
Okay. Every week when we are closing the program, we ask you to consider attending the church of your choice. And today's prayer is, Mary, most pure mother, obtain for me the grace to dedicate my whole life with all the strength of my body and soul to serve God. Thanks for viewing. Thank you, Andrew. Please tell a friend.